Matt Modai with OddsJam. Unfortunately, don't have any dogs up here with me today, so I can't give you a sneak preview of the pups. They're downstairs just waiting for dinner, watching TV somewhere. So this live stream, as I've kind of been doing with the live streams, placing some live positive EV bets, showing you that it is, in fact, possible to get 10, 15, 20 bets in. You don't need to really dedicate that much time. Also going to be talking positive EV strategy, how I've been able to use OddsJam and their positive EV page specifically to place some profitable bets and to make money betting on sports, because that's the goal here, right? Make money betting on sports. It sounds pretty fun. It's fun for me. But before I get started, I do want to make sure. I know that some sports books went live, I think, in Illinois over the weekend. So if you're in Illinois, or if you're just in any state where mobile sports betting is legal, I want to make sure that you're signed up for every sports book that is available in your state. So what you could do is check out the links in the description, and it'll say what books are live in your state that you can sign up with. And if you sign up using those links, you could take advantage of the sign up bonus that's offered there. So you can get, some of them have like a free bet or site credit. Some of them have a deposit match, but either way, you can get free bets, some bonuses if you're signed up. And the best advice I could give people if they want to be profitable and how they can use OddsJam to profit, or just in general, even if you're not using OddsJam, is just to be signed up for every book that is available in your state. That's the easiest way to get the best odds. It's you line shop, find the best odds. So even if you're not looking at, you're not a paid member using positive EV bets, if you're consistently getting the best odds, that's how you can help yourself in the long run, probably the most. So again, I can't recommend it enough. Sign up using the links in the description. Help yourself become a profitable, better sports bettor. That was a tongue twister. And I will share my screen and get started. So overall, had a decent week last week. Was up more the week before. So 2 weeks ago, I was up like pretty much, we'll call it 560. Last week, I was up like 211. So still good. Still profiting, which is all that matters. And that's a weekly profit. So for those of you, if you're on the arbitrage plan, I made that money back in a week. Doubled that if you're on the industry plan, made that money back as well. And depending on your rate for the platinum plan, I've made that back in a monthly rate. So showing profits using OddsJam. Even if you're not a paid subscriber of OddsJam, we have a ton of free bet tools that you can use to your advantage. So number one that I love, it's probably my most favorite part about using OddsJam is just the bet tracker. Before I discovered OddsJam, I was just anecdotally tracking my bets just in my head, thinking of if I was up or down, but I didn't have any of this type of information at my disposal. So, return on investment is incredibly helpful. So this number has actually been going down. I was at about 10% for a while, but recently I've gone down about 0.5%, which isn't terrible because I've still been profiting the past 3 weeks. Like I'm up almost 1,000 the past 3 weeks. After a down week, my fourth down week using it. And all this stuff is free with the bet tracker. So the bet tracker is amazing. It tells you whether your bet is currently beating the closing line or not. So this is what the green means. Green equals good. I have some red ones. I think I have two. It's 3 now. Let me just look for the pending. 3 total bets. So 2 player props, which happens majority with the player props because those are kind of the most wide ranging. So this Maxi one was a great bet this morning, as well as this James Harden one. Those are no longer beating the closing line, but I'll wait a little bit to see if I can cash those out. But this Louisiana one, I might see if I can cash out on Caesars because that one, it's more unlikely for a bet against the spread or a total or anything like this to move to the point where it could this was like minus 115 or minus 120, the closing line when I bet it. Now it's at minus 101. So that'll happen, which is fine. As long as it doesn't happen more often than not, which as you can tell from all my pending bets, only have 3. But for a player prop, you'll kind of see it go like that, up and down. For a game prop, not as much, but cash out is unavailable, unfortunately. Of course, I can cash out my one that's beating closing line, North Dakota. Excuse me. But obviously, I don't want to cash that one out. So that's all right. But either way, like I said, the bet tracker is completely free. It's incredible to use. So all you have to do is just sign up. You don't need to put a card down or anything like that. All we need is just make an account. I think all you need is your email address. You can have access to all this stuff. So it's incredibly important. Everything input here on the bet tracker feeds into the views that you see here. So profit over time, which I love. Profit by bet type, I also love because it just tells me how profitable I am betting plus EV. Normal bets is stuff that I do my research on my own and then bet, so it's not directly from the positive EV page. Profit by sport, basketball, it just stays killing it. Hockey, a little bit of profit, not a ton. Tennis, a little bit, not a ton. And then not specified is all football. This was when I was first using OddsJam. I didn't know how to use the bet tracker. But either way, like I said, it's completely free. I can't recommend it enough. And the best part, which I haven't mentioned yet, it auto grades all your bets for you. So all these bets that I have input here, like 10 or 12, I'm not sure the exact amount. OddsJam will grade these bets as won or lost for you. So you don't need to go in and manually update everything. It'll do it all for you. Although it's not a Mitchell one here. I have him twice, which I did not place that bet twice. So again, like I said, I really can't recommend it enough. It's completely free. And all you got to do is just make an account. So next up, I'll show you the positive EV page. And this is the page where it shows every bet that has positive expected value associated with it. The way the positive EV is calculated is based on the OddsJam perfect line. So this is the sharpest line in the world. The sharpest tool in the world is the OddsJam perfect line. And it'll just provide situations where you're getting better odds on another sports book. So anything you see here means that it has positive EV. Obviously, the higher the percentage, as you see on the left here, the greater the difference between the OddsJam perfect line and the sportsbook you're betting it on. It doesn't necessarily mean that the greater that you should put more money on it. It also depends what like the win percentage is. So if you click this calculator, it calculates the win percentage, it calculates the odds, and then based on what you input your bankroll to be, it gives you an actual amount to bet on. So for this wager, it tells me to put essentially $65 on it. For another one, it's going to tell me to put more, 86, and it's all because of the win percentage. So that's how you can read that. What I will say is that there's two common questions I get. One is that they don't have time to dedicate to it, and that's why we love doing these live streams, because I mean we talk for 7 minutes and then we place bets for 5 minutes and we get in 5 to 10 bets. So you'll need to dedicate a lot of time. And the next question I get is, do you bet everything that's on here? And the answer to that question is no. So there's a couple of things we look at in order to determine whether it's a profitable bet or not. The first one, which is the one we'd recommend the most, is to just look at the market width, and that is based on both sides of the OddsJam perfect line. So the market width, you don't look at the sportsbook you're betting it on and what those odds are. You're just looking at both sides of the OddsJam perfect line. And the way it works is market width is essentially a way to for the OddsJam perfect line to show how confident they are in what that line is being priced at. So the wider the gap between the two numbers, the worse the market width, and means we wouldn't bet it. So for this one, this is pretty wide market. We're not betting this one at all. And the way you calculate it is just by, if it's a plus and a minus like it is here, just subtract those two numbers. So this would be what, like 58 market width or something like that. 58 is what it is. So for a player prop, which this one is for hockey, we don't bet anything above 40 cents in market width. So this one is well out of the range. And then for a game prop like this one is, you don't bet anything above 25%. So this one would be a play, although I just do the market width based on, for these live streams, I just place bets that are going on tonight. So again, a player prop, don't touch it if it's above 40. Game prop, don't touch it if it's above 25. And the last rule I have for a player prop, and that's just mostly to minimize it, and you're only betting on like the really valuable ones, is and this is a case where I will look at what the percent is here, and I won't bet on a player prop above 7%. So sometimes if there aren't that many games going on, I'll lower that number to 5%. But in this case, because there's so many above 7%, that's what I'll make the limit. But for game props, what I actually look for is, I don't have a limit on as far as what the percentage is. If it's below 25, I'll bet it. But what I really like doing is finding bets that are 15 cents in below in market width, and then I'll sometimes put double what the calculator tells me to put on here, because the logic there is if you're getting a market that's that tight, that is below 15 or below in market width, and you're still getting positive EV, that's a really valuable bet, and it won't scare me off if it's a lower percentage because of the market width. So sometimes I'll double or triple what it tells me to put on here if it's, like I said, a really tight market. But And I'll look for those later. But to start off, so basically what I do is I refresh it. I find plays that are within market width, and I bet them. So as you can see, there are a ton here. This Harrison Barnes one is actually no longer available on PointsBet. I checked it already. I can look again to see if it's there, but last I checked, they had suspended that market. So I would imagine that will be taken off the OddsJam page forthwith, whatever that word is. And Harrison Barnes is still on the Kings. Somehow he's still there. And it was his assists. As you can see, yeah, it's suspended. But one bet I did really like. So one thing I've noticed is that blocks and steals the variance is too high. So I actually won't touch blocks or steals at all. I used to love betting on stocks because it was fun, the word stocks, but I actually don't do that anymore. But this James Harden one I absolutely love. He's been balling with the Sixers. He took Saturday off to rest the hamstring in Miami. I doubt he got that much rest in Miami. But so James Harden over 10.5 assists. I love $85. This was on BetMGM. What's funny, BetMGM is still my most profitable book, but I've actually been hemorrhaging money to BetMGM recently. I think I was deferring to it too much, and I was placing majority of my bets, even if maybe they weren't as profitable as normal on BetMGM. So hoping to get that back. And oh no, they took Harden assists down. That's devastating. So that will be taken off. I bet it won't be up here anymore. No. It still is. Let's see if I can get it anywhere close. So it's James Harden. No, so plus 110 was majority the highest. That would have been a really good bet if I'd gotten it, but I didn't. And that is a situation in which you do need to move quick because if I wasn't talking for so long, I could have possibly gotten it because his points, rebounds is still there, but they took away his assists. That's devastating. That's all right. Let's keep going. So this is not a play. Maxey, I'm not taking. See, this is where my fanhood of the Sixers. If you look at Maxey's stats since they got Harden, I don't think that the lines have caught up yet. He's hit 2 or more threes in every game, and he's hit 3 or more in every game except for his first one back. So he's been shooting at an insanely high clip. So I'm not touching this one, even though it's technically just within market width. I'm allowing my sports fanhood to take over here. But Tobias over 2.5 assists, I don't love because Tobias stinks and he's probably my least favorite Philadelphia athlete currently. But that one I will trust the math because with Harden, he has been better about passing. So it's over 2.5 plus 120, 65. So I'll go ahead and lock this one in begrudgingly. I really wish I got that Harden one in, but in that case, I did need to move quicker than I did and not dilly-dally. But I'm going to go ahead and assume this gets placed and add it to my bet tracker. So all you do to add it, you just click the plus. Make sure you're doing it on the correct side. Whoops. Make sure you put in the correct amount of money. Save, and then it gets added. And that's placed, so we're good to go there. So that's the process with player props. As you can see, majority of these are player props. So I'll actually hide it. You see this option, you can just hide it. And I'll try and find an example of a bet that's 15 cents and below in market width. I'll like this one, perfect. Looks like it's fading the Sixers on BetMGM, which normally I would have loved both of those things, but because I've had the bad luck, I don't love it. And of course, I'm a Sixers fan. But if it's plus EV and it's 15 cents in market width, I'll trust it. So the play is Bulls plus 5.5 plus 125. So it tells me to put $15 on it. I'll double that. I'll put 30 on it. Since it's BetMGM, I'm not going to quite load it like I normally would have. I do have a free bet. That's fun. I'll go ahead and put that on the Sixers spread. I think it's only $10. That's fine. I talked about this on the last live stream. That's actually not the best practice to just place a free bet without any research, but the Sixers are playing and I have a free bet. I'll back it. Last time I did that, it lost, so it's all right. But that's an example of one that's 15 cents and below. That one was exactly 15 cents. Let me see if I can find another one. It's 20, 18, 18, 17. So if it's a plus or if it's 2 minuses, you add them together as opposed to subtract them. So in this case, 15 plus 2 is 17. Even I can do that math. This one's not for tonight. This one is close. It's 16, but got to draw the line somewhere. Here's 15 live. I'm not going to bother with that. 24. So it looks like that's the only one. But so only 2 bets. I'll cap this at 15 minutes. So adding them both to my live tracker or my bet tracker, excuse me. I would imagine let's see, it's only been like 2 minutes since these bets have been placed. So it might be a little bit before. I think it takes 10 minutes for the CLV to populate. So, but eventually it'll populate the closing line value. It'll probably be green at the start because it's rare for you to place a bet and then 10 minutes later for it to be red. Like in this case, these 3 I placed in the morning. These are actually two of these are my NBA player props. And this was one of my NCAA plays of the day. So hopefully those end up hitting. But overall, that's kind of how you navigate the OddsJam positive EV page. So those are the important things to look at. Market with 15 cents and below is a load. I didn't find anything that was McSlam worthy today, but that's all right. So for tonight, I have 800 pending bets. I think majority of those are publicly out there. So follow me on Twitter at Matt_Modi_bets. Started using TikTok more, so you can follow me there. I believe my handle there is OddsJam_betting. That's where I have a couple of plays. Obviously, definitely 100% make sure you tune into the OddsJam YouTube channel. So subscribe, check all our live streams, all the content there, placing some profitable bets. But that's all I got for this live stream. But again, the 2 things I want to focus on, number 1, the bet tracker, which is completely free. Just make an account, give us your email, and then you can get access to all this stuff. You can input your bets, new bet, input all the information. It auto grades it for you. It's just an incredible system. And then 2, sign up for every sportsbook that is available in your state. So that's how I've been able to have such high profits with positive EV. It's just by being signed up for everywhere I can. So as you can see, BetMGM is still the highest at 3K, but DraftKings is close. And at one point, BetMGM was close to 4. So I told you I've had some bad luck. I'm placing probably a little too much emphasis on BetMGM. So FanDuel, so for every reason, I just can't get it right. I get hammered by FanDuel. But yeah, so that's all I got for you again. Hit me up on Twitter with any questions, comment on the video with any questions, and have a good one.